This is my favorite one.
Clippers and the Mavs.
I ain't gonna lie. I doubted both these teams. Okay. Beginning of the season, I did not believe in Dallas whatsoever. I didn't think that they had enough around Luka and Kyrie to make any noise in the postseason.
They did
Or
make the
poss-
trades.
That's true. That's true. Beginning of the year, though, I was thinking, they're going to be a 9-10 seed, possibly fighting for the last couple of spots in the playoffs. But they're boasting the seventh best offense in the league right now, averaging 118 points per game, while being a slightly below average on the defensive side of the ball. We kind of expected that with allowing 115 points per game. Okay. So that's them. Great offense, subpar defense with a top 3 player in the NBA. Clippers are another team that I didn't believe in due to their health history. Yet again, that may come back to bite them, right? They are one of the slowest paced teams, only averaging 115 points per game, which is 12th. And they boast a solid defense, which only gives up 112 points per game, which is also 12th. So they're much like the Suns in that they're above average, but not spectacular at anything. Ultimately, I can't believe I'm saying it, but give me Dallas. They're healthy and they're rolling. Kawhi is questionable yet again, and I just can't trust the Clippers with an injured Kawhi for the 12th time ever since he's gotten there. I mean, we've only gotten like one healthy series out of this dude, it feels like, in the past 5 years. So give me the team that has their best player healthy and ready to go. So give me Dallas probably in 6.
Yeah, I agree with you. I go with the Mavs in 7. Like Kawhi Leonard has been out for a couple games. He's hurt, but they never say anything about him or what they expect or his status or anything like that. So I honestly am guessing he's going to miss the first game or two at least. And I don't trust Harden to step up as the number 2 guy either
No.
at the same time. Like Paul George will probably have a good series. I know he's had his struggles, but he's also had his good moments. So he's capable of playing well. But don't really trust Harden. Harden feels better to me as the 3rd guy on offense. And facilitating. Clippers did win the season series 2-1. They also do have a lot of big wings who can guard the Dallas Stars in Luka and Kyrie. But the trades for Dallas to get PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford were really big because they were able to finally get competent front court players around Luka. Gafford's a perfect fit with Luka. To pair him with the rookie Derek Lively, that kind of 1-2 combo. They play very similar. And PJ Washington is a good defender. He can shoot the ball. It just was such a big upgrade because they already had the guards. They already had a lot of wings on the team. They didn't have any bigs, and now they have some bigs. But the biggest question in the series is when is Kawhi Leonard coming back? Because honestly, I probably would have liked the Clippers if they were fully healthy because I've seen what they can do when they're fully rolling, but they're not. And that's been the story of this whole tenure. And as recently, besides the last 2 games, whatever, once Dallas got locked into 5, they stopped playing everyone, which makes sense. But before that, they were 16-2 to end the regular season. So they're playing their best basketball of the year right now. And that's why I like the Mavs in 7. And, Paul George may or may not be back with the Clippers next year. Things could start to look different for that team.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you're going to say. My, I guess, bold prediction is Dallas is going to make the conference finals. So there you have it. They got to beat the Clippers first. The great implosion of another franchise begins, all because their player that they put all the eggs in the basket for is perpetually injured or unavailable. So give me Dallas. They have chemistry. They seem to be playing well. Kyrie Irving is playing basketball and nothing else. I mean, what a joy to watch, So give me Dallas. I really love just the vibe of that team. They are kind of a team that I feel like a lot of people didn't have high expectations for. Whereas the Clippers perpetually have high expectations. They make these big trades, they make these big moves, and they just end up the same place every single year. 4th seed, lose the first or second round, never make it anywhere else. So
Yeah.
What's to change?
And this is the best supporting cast Luka's ever had post trade deadline. I mean, it was good that they got Grant Williams out of there. Honestly, he's kind of overrated. Gets
Kind
benched
of
by
booty cheeks.
Boston.
Yep.
Yeah, he's an okay end of the bench guy, but he should not be playing 30 minutes a game for your team. And PJ Washington, a lot better than him. Adding Daniel Gafford, who was hidden in Washington, but I mean, even outside of that, even if Kawhi was healthy, I think this could be a legit series just because of
Yeah,
how good
I agree.
Luka and Kyrie are and how they figure things out. The Clippers, in my opinion, only really had maybe the defense and the size, but Dallas's offense is better overall. And they don't have as many mouths to feed as well. To be fair, it's really
A
a
lot
Luka
more, yeah,
Kyrie thing, and that's set in stone, as
more
opposed
defined
to the
roles.
Clippers. It's like, okay, well, we go to Kawhi, but we also have to get Harden shots and Westbrook shots and Paul George shots. And I don't think the Mavericks will have that problem. Everyone has a clearly defined role on that team.
No, I agree. I mean, we were saying it at the beginning of the year. Don't buy into the Clippers because it's always the same story. Health.
And I'm high on them when
No.
they're healthy and good, but
Yeah,
they're not.
they're never healthy, so whatever. I'm sick of it. I'm kind of glad it's coming to an end, hopefully.
Yeah.
And I would much rather see Dallas win anyway. So
Well, if even if the Clippers do run it back and they bring everyone back, it's like they're all going to be 33,
they're
34
too
and
old.
older. That's just not going to end well with all those big money contracts. So there's real
The,
world, no Harden back, no Paul George back. It's just kind of quiet with the old Russ.
the real question surrounding LA is if and when this goes south, in a couple of weeks when they're eliminated from the playoffs. Where do you see Paul George going?
I heard Philly really likes him. They have the
That would be
cap
nice.
space. I think having a big three around Joel Embiid, I think he'd be the best player to have a
Maxi
big three
George and
around.
Embiid, that'd be
Yeah, because I
that
mean,
would be something else.
if you look at Philly, so I think Tyrese Maxey's great. He deserved to be an All Star this year. I think he's slightly overrated because they absolutely sucked without Joel
Once
Embiid.
Embiid left, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like I said, I still think he's good, still an all-star. But to add a Paul George with that, because you see how different they are with Joel, and to have Maxi and Paul George, and then the flexibility to bring back the guys you already had, I think that team would be super, super legit at that point. And even though Paul George is a little older, he can just give the ball to Joel and then show up when he's needed. So that would be a good spot for him, I think. I wouldn't be surprised though if like Chicago offered him the most money in the
A ton of
NBA to
money.
go there. Just because they're weird like that, and they would say, "Oh, well, no, Demar, let's get Paul George and add him to this team and still be a middle
Still be
team
a
for
ninth
years."
seed. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of the only two teams I could see him considering due to money or winning situations.
No, yeah. I mean, it'd be crazy if he went to Indiana. I don't know if they could make the money work there, but that would be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Philly discussion. If I'm Paul George, that's where I'd want to go because you can actually compete for a legit championship as long as Joel is healthy there. And yeah, I don't think a lot of people blame Paul George, even though he's missed a lot of time too in his tenure here in LA.
Yeah.
It's mostly been the
I
Kawhi
mean,
unavailability thing
yeah.
in the postseason,
He's always healthy in the playoffs,
in
and
the
he's been
playoffs. Yeah.
more available in the regular season than Kawhi. So it's like he's always there by the end of the season.
So
So
tough luck for LA. I mean, Steve Ballmer, one of my favorite owners in the league, he went all in. He did what he was supposed to do as an owner, and it just fell flat on its face.
hey,
So
maybe they can free up the cap space to get Donovan Mitchell. Who knows? In free agency though, so this wouldn't be this year. This would be the year after.
yeah,
Um,
but who are you going to surround him with? You know what I mean?
they
Can't be Kawhi. You got to get off the Kawhi
they're
train.
just gonna be the Phoenix Suns. They have those two guys and then a bunch of minimum contracts because they have no money or draft picks. So, but
Sad,
Donovan would
sad
get the
day.
big market he's looking for, like we talked about. He just yearns to be in a big city
He yearns for it.
so bad.
LA,
But
Miami, New York.
exactly, that's what
Nothing
he
else.
wants. So He might play for 3 teams, 4 teams before that happens, but it will happen eventually.
It'll
So
happen. When he gets to
just
decide, it will happen.
exactly. Um, Anyways, thank you everyone who tuned in and listened today. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our playoff takes. What do you think will be happen? What's your favorite matchup of this first round? We'll be back a little later this week with the rest of the first round for you guys before it starts off. And until next time,